use the data. Alrighty. So thanks a lot for participating in the observation session. I do have a few questions for you. Let me see. I think the first one is, what do you think of the PBL model of this whole group work thing in general? What's sort of like your off the bat opinions?
No, honestly,
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it any other way.
Okay.
Because I have been in a different schooling system where there's a lot less focus on group work, and I could not imagine going back to very textbook based and then very individual kind of stuff, and like examinations also reflect that. And because I think it makes a huge difference once you leave school, how you approach. Because examinations are not based on what you have done during the semester, but what you were supposed to have learned, just like that.
Oh yeah. I understand. And why do you think is better? Like, okay, so you like it more, but why? Why do you think it's?
It's because of the kind of the interpersonal angle, because you have to kind of accept your mistakes, and I think it's a better way to learn.
Do you agree with him? Or?
Yeah, sure. And I feel like you sort of have a safety net as well. Like, I went to DTU before this.
Okay.
And I felt like there's not a huge focus on creating like good groups. You are put into some groups at the beginning, but then if, let's say, in my case, my whole group practically dropped out, then you can barely get through because I don't know.
Okay, I see. So then the main strengths of group work would be interpersonal thing, and
also just like the variety of experience, or the variety of knowledge.
Okay, what does that mean?
Because let's say if you're trying to do a project on your own, then you only have your own mind to put it in it. So
I see.
There's no filter, and you don't, because there's just some things you could not even consider because they just don't exist in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. And what do you think would be like the main problems with group work, or one of the sort of most weak points, or
For like project based?
Yeah, for the whole project based learning group work thing.
Of course, like you may get into an argument about how something should be written, but I mean, usually in our case, it's not a huge deal. We usually figure it out, and but I could imagine some other groups they would have a bit more trouble.
And I think what we have is we're sometimes too optimistic of how easy it will be to do things, or how quickly. Because we think there's a load of us, so it's going to be easy to distribute it and then to do it on time or within our own sort of a goal.
And that doesn't happen in reality.
Not always. I mean, there's always adjustments. You cannot always follow the plan.
And why do you think it is?
Because people have lives. People want to do other things. Because when you look at apparently that it's 15 ECTS for a project, which means like the combined total of like 1,600 hours of work per semester on the project alone.
Yeah.
You mean for everybody?
Yeah,
put together.
Put together.
Yeah.
Okay. And you feel why are you saying?
I mean, it's just not realistic.
In what sense? You think it's too much or too little? Or what do you mean? Not realistic.
I mean, it's too much in the sense because if you calculate, it's like 6 hours a day, including weekends, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then the rest of it, like, because that's half of the whole semester, right? And then the rest is for all the other courses.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think anybody ever matches that.
Yeah, I understand. But do you think that the social dynamics somehow hinder the productivity of the group, or The filters sometimes.
I mean, probably. I mean, yeah.
Sometimes, at least,
Hmm.
not so much you, I would say.
Yeah, because
But
I just ignore everything.
Yeah, mostly
But
the
not-
rest of us, we have a habit of starting to speak Danish a lot, and then the conversation is very easy, and then sometimes we end up wasting a bit of time. And so I think I think that's a drawback.
And why do you think that happens?
Because we're not just group mates, we're also friends, and we talk about what's happening in our lives, and yeah, I think we share a lot of interests, and then I mean it's very easy.
Some questions actually here. Okay, so yeah, another thing is, how do you coordinate work in your group? How do you sort of delegate and make sure that everybody has something to do, everybody's sort of up to date?
I don't know. I mean, what we're trying to do now is to just create a list of what we have to do overall, and then it's kind of like a pick and choose,
Yeah.
or things that we worked on before, so we have a bit more experience with that.
Yeah.
And what do you usually do that what kind of tools?
I don't know.
So
I mean,
you
if you can talk about like how in the previous projects, you were shoehorned.
What do you mean?
I mean, you
Oh,
were,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
I mean, because like it was always kind of assumed that you were gonna do the prototype work,
Yeah.
or at least the bulk of it.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
we're only gonna be a support thing.
Yeah, true.
No, but I mean, how do you make sure, or please go on.
So also in, I believe, P1, because I have a lot of previous programming experience, it was like it would not benefit everyone if I were to just do the programming, right? So I was kind of more like, even though I would love to do the programming, right? I was more like supervising the programming, and I didn't write. We had an implementation section in the report, and I didn't write that either. I did. So I was kind of shoehorned into doing something that's like working on the while supervising the other.
But my question was more like, so for example, if some of you meet and some of you don't, how do you make sure that everybody's on track?
We write a message if it's relevant, or just explain it whenever next time we meet.
Okay, a message on
Facebook,
or
Facebook
platforms. Okay.
group chat.
or like a comment in the Google Doc.
Yeah, but it's not like urgent.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just put in a comment in the group, I guess.
And on that topic, like, what kind of tools do you use to coordinate group work? Because I mean, you're not here 24/7, so you might need to communicate remotely. What are your main tools? I saw you use Google Docs, right?
Yeah, I
You
guess.
mentioned that.
Yeah,
The main one.
Google Docs and Messenger or Facebook. Yeah, you know what I mean. Those are the main things, I guess. Do we use anything else? Well, email when we have to arrange meetings
Yeah.
with teachers, but yeah.
We don't use like those, those planning.
Oh yeah,
things.
yeah, Trello. Yeah.
We've talked about it. But
Yeah, we never
Hey.
bothered doing it.
No.
And on the subject of actually no, let's not do that. What are the main distractions while you do group work? I think I kind of touched upon something, but sometimes students get a bit distracted. Maybe they don't, sort of put in like the 8 hours spent at university are not actually 8 hours of work. What are the main things going to get you off rails?
Lunch.
Lunch, yeah, I was about to say food.
Sure. And how big of a thing is lunch? How much does it take usually?
I don't know, like an hour minimum.
An hour minimum. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you consider important?
Just laziness.
Yeah, laziness.
Okay. Laziness. Like, what do you do when you're lazy? What does that mean?
Just
You check Reddit,
Yeah.
or you
Reddit, okay.
you make some jokes, or you just start talking with people. It's like
How much time do you think you spend on this stuff, like on Reddit or on jokes? And
like overall on a day, for example.
let's say just shoot a number. It's just ballpark.
20%.
20%. Okay.
I mean,
something
but yeah, like if we're here for 8 hours straight, then we're only going to be working for like 5 or 6, like actual,
Yeah, actual.
and that's like an optimistic thing as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But it really depends on the time in the project as well, like
I imagine.
how stressed we are and how focused we're willing to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would
Yeah.
say that often we have a tendency of discussing things to death. Like
Yeah.
things that
Mm.
should just be easy to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
some
project related or non-project
Project-
related?
all-
project related. and
Okay.
People will just like really ask about it for
I see.
however many times. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like we're wasting time.
Yeah, like we're massively overthinking some things a lot of the time,
Yeah.
and then we meet the supervisor and he's just, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Like we have some really complicated questions about like things that really are not super important, like what kind of an abbreviation you use for a thing,
I see. Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
exactly now like fig or figure in the text,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that could devolve into like a huge discussion by the end.
Oh wow, damn.
Start googling
Damn.
it.
Damn. Does Reddit kind of start discussion sometimes, or
Reddit.
yeah, or do you, I don't know. Does that become a catalyst for
Sometimes.
conversation?
Oh, yeah.
So if you see something on Reddit, for
Something
instance,
ridiculous,
that,
yeah.
that you have to share, then
Mm-hmm.
you have to share.
Yeah. And do you feel it's a big distractor or not really, or?
I think we
And-
are. The general consensus is in the group is that it is a big distraction, but at least from some of us. I think Amanda is like, she thinks we're slacking a lot.
Amanda, is she the one with the glasses? Wait, you don't have glasses? Do you have
Both
glasses?
of them.
Yeah,
Okay,
The one sitting next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
But yeah, she has a habit of building things up to something.
I mean, yeah, but it's
Like exaggerating maybe, or?
Yeah, exaggerating.
but it's all relative to the work that we intend to do, because I don't know. Do you feel very stressed out at this moment about?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Impressive.
like we justify the distractions with the work that we do afterwards,
And
or
do
on
we-
our own.
And do you do it? Does that happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Like
Good.
mostly would.
Like that's the thing. Like I mean, I think you or at least most of you prefer to do things like do the bulk of the writing on your own, because you get distracted less at school.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And for me, it's the complete other way around. Like I find it very, very hard to do things on my own. Like even if I don't need to discuss things, I just like I like the pressure that I'm not the only one who has like a stake in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
But I would say, for me, it's kind of a dilemma because at school, like I get distracted by the others, I guess. But at home, I get distracted by my desktop PC and all the games on it.
And what would be the main distractors in the desktop?
Games,
Mhm.
I guess. And
Okay.
people on like on your what do you call it, like Steam, and people wanting to play with you, and yeah.
Okay. Anything else other than game related, or?
Not really. I don't think so.
No. Mhm. And is the social element of gaming really important for you as well, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Do you feel there are other like social media websites except, for example, like Pinterest and Steam that play a stake in like both positive or negative in your project? Even when you're supposed to work from home or when you're actually at school working, would they have a,
You want like platforms or?
for example, like you feel like there are any ones that are like important to mention?
No, I mean Facebook, obviously.
Yeah. Discord.
Can you say a bit about it?
It's just an awful time kill that I'm addicted to.
Okay, you're addicted. That's a pretty strong statement.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know how to describe it better.
Yeah, you're
It's just
very accustomed to it.
It's like I've taught my brain that if I'm not doing something else, it's like Control Tab F Enter, and you just go straight to the thing because it's just like I don't go looking for it, but it finds me. No, I mean, but it's serious. And like I've done things to mitigate it because like I've deleted Facebook off my phone, so I only do it when I'm at the computer, which makes a huge difference, honestly.
Right. Okay. And how much time do you feel you kind of spend?
I can give you numbers if you want.
Just estimates.
I don't know. It's probably like around an hour a day, I'd say.
And is that hour more like in your free time or in group work time?
Probably a half and half.
Half and half. Okay. And you think this is big, or like you think it's quite important?
I think it should die in the fire.
How about you? Do you have any similar
Go to
opinions?
Facebook, but for me it's more Reddit. Like if I'm not doing something, I just without even thinking about it, I open up the Reddit app and I just start scrolling because there's an infinite amount of posts that might be interesting or funny or whatever.
Yeah.
It just like even before I go to sleep, I can lie there for like an hour just scrolling.
And do you feel this impacts your performance, academic wise, or?
No, I feel like I'm pretty good at putting it away.
Okay. Nice. Any other platforms that are worth mentioning, or you said Discord? That's a.
It's like Skype. It's the new Skype.
Okay.
It's like community chatting, is it?
Yeah, you can set up.
And how do you guys use it?
I use it for the same way I would use Skype, like just for friends, voice chat, and of course normal chat as well. So usually, my PC logs in automatically, and then usually within an hour or so you get at least a message from someone who wants to play or do something. Just talk maybe.
And what's sort of the stake of that in your semester project, or in your group work in general? What impact does it have?
Usually I just try to close it because it's too distracting, but sometimes it really results in me not doing anything for a night, I guess.
Okay, and what do you think is the balance between those two? If you had to put percentages on it?
Like close to 70-30 or something.
70 on the I put it away side, or?
Yeah, 70 on the project.
Yeah, close it, put it away, and 30 on. The whole night becomes. Yeah. Janis, do you have anything to say? I saw you laughing.
No, I mean, I just find it interesting, because like the semester project kind of takes over your life in a sense, because you're always involved in it in some way, and then you might feel guilt, or you wanna just push it away because you know that logically you should be focusing on that. But I don't think it's like a 100% healthy way to do it as well, because you need the chance to zone out and do whatever you want.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's true. Completely agree.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I also feel like if you've had a long day, then
no way.
You're not going to do anything when you get home.
No. But I was more looking into. You guys seem to kind of split your work to both home and here.
Yeah.
I was looking more like if it can have a positive or negative impact on your group work, sort of in general.
Whether you're home or.
Yeah. Whether you have to. You say, okay, I'm gonna finish this section at home, and then you say, oh, cats. I don't know.
I feel like there's a bigger pressure when you're here.
Yeah.
I'm more motivated to do it while I'm
exactly.
here.
Fair enough.
So I guess it varies a bit. Like sometimes I feel I'm more productive at home, sometimes more productive here.
It also depends on the phase of the project, kind of.
Yeah.
Because now, we're kind of putting out fires, so then you need to be motivated, and it's much better to have it here.
Yeah.
But at the start, when we're just creating like a baseline, then you can be a bit more relaxed, and you know, the productivity doesn't need to be as high, and you can do it at home.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it also depends on what kind of work we're doing. Like right now, we're just